Welcome to the English Mature with JB podcast.
It's great to be back. And today, we're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
We aren't, opening a textbook or going over a vocabulary list for an exam.
No, today we are looking at a blueprint.
But not for a building.
Not for a building, no.
Uh.
We're looking at a really specific speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
The one called, What is Your Life's Blueprint?
That's the one. And I have to say, when I first started looking into this, I was a little surprised.
How so?
Well, you usually hear about Dr. King in these huge national contexts, right? The March on Washington, I Have a Dream, changing federal laws.
That's the image we all have, the giant on the stage speaking to millions of people.
Exactly. But this speech, it's different.
It is. It's so much more intimate. It feels less like a political rally and more like a heart-to-heart conversation.
So let's set the scene for everyone listening, because the context, it really changes how you hear the words, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The context is everything here.
Okay, so where are we?
We're in Philadelphia. The date is October 26, 1967.
And that date, that's heavy.
It's incredibly heavy. I mean, this is only about 6 months before Dr. King was assassinated.
Wow.
So when you're reading this, you're hearing the final wisdom of a man who's, very near the end of his life, even if he didn't know it.
And who is he talking to? This isn't a crowd of politicians.
No, not at all. He's at Barrett Junior High School.
Junior high?
Yep. He's looking at an auditorium full of teenagers.
Yeah.
Kids who are, maybe 12, 13, 14 years old.
Which explains the title then. What is your life's blueprint? That's a perfect metaphor for that age.
It is. And honestly, I think it works just as well for our listeners. I mean, if you're preparing for your exams, you're at that B1, B2 level. You're in the exact same position.
You're in the middle of construction.
You're in the most critical phase of construction.
Let's stick with that architect metaphor. Dr. King starts right there.
He does. He asks them, whenever a building is constructed, what's the very first thing you need?
You need a plan.
You need a blueprint, a guide, a pattern. Because he says, if the blueprint isn't sound, the building isn't solid.
Right. And he connects that directly to their lives. He tells these kids, this is the most important and crucial period of your lives.
He puts the responsibility right on them. He's saying the decisions you make now, not in 10 years, but right now, will determine everything.
That sounds like a lot of pressure for a teenager.
It is. It is a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he sees it as empowering pressure. He's telling them, you are the architect. You have the power to draw the plan.
Okay, so if we're the architects, Dr. King gives us the specifications. He breaks this blueprint into 3 main steps.
Yes, 3 core principles.
So step 1, where do we start?
Step 1 is the foundation, and he calls it a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebody-ness.
I love that word, somebody-ness. That's not a word you're going to find in a standard dictionary, is it?
No, it's his own creation, but you immediately know what it means.
It's the feeling of being a somebody.
Exactly. The direct opposite of feeling like a nobody.
So why start there? Why not, study hard or do your homework?
That's a great question. And it comes right back to the context. 1967. These are young black students in a society that was, frankly, telling them every single day that they didn't matter.
So the world was telling them they were nobodies.
Right. And King addresses this head on. He talks about the stigma of color. And for our learners, a stigma is like a mark of shame.
He gets really specific, doesn't he? He talks about their physical appearance.
He does. He basically tells them, don't let society trick you into being ashamed of who you are. He says you don't need cosmetics to lighten your skin.
Or to process your hair.
Right, which was a term for using chemicals to make it look straight. He wants them to own their identity.
He gives them an affirmation, a sentence to say.
Yes. He says you should tell yourself, I am black, but beautiful.
Such a powerful phrase. So the lesson here really is about dignity, self-respect.
It is. His point is, if you don't believe you count, nothing else matters. The foundation is cracked, and the whole building will collapse.
So step 1 is psychological. You have to win the battle in your own mind first.
You have to decide you're a somebody.
Okay. So we've laid the foundation. We believe in our somebody-ness. What's step 2 in the blueprint?
Step 2 is action. It's the determination to achieve excellence.
This is the part about work.
This is the part about work, and he does not sugarcoat it. He talks about intense effort.
And he uses a great English idiom here. He tells them they have to burn the midnight oil.
Such a visual phrase, isn't it?
It really is. So just to be clear, we're not actually setting oil on fire.
No, please don't.
Yeah.
It just means, from the old days with lamps,
Yeah.
that you had to stay up very late working or studying.
It implies a sacrifice, doing the hard thing.
It does. But what's interesting is that he's also really optimistic here.
How so?
He tells them that doors of opportunity are opening for them, doors that were closed to their parents.
But they have to be ready.
They have to be ready. He warns them, if that door opens and you haven't burned the midnight oil, you can't walk through it. The opportunity is just gone.
Which brings us to probably the most famous part of the whole speech, the street sweeper.
Ah, yes. This is the core metaphor for excellence. It's just brilliant.
So break it down for us, because usually speakers tell kids, you can be president, you can be a doctor.
King doesn't do that. And that's what makes this so powerful. He says, what if your job in life is to be a street sweeper?
A job that, let's be honest, most people look down on.
Right. But King completely flips the script. He says, don't just do a good enough job. He says you should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say.
Here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well.
He turns manual labor into high art. I mean, he compares the street sweeper to geniuses.
He says sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures.
Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music.
Or like Shakespeare wrote poetry.
And then he adds one more name, Leontine Price.
And that's a very important name for this audience.
It is. Leontine Price was a trailblazing black opera singer, a global superstar. So by putting her name next to Shakespeare and Beethoven.
He's reinforcing that somebody-ness again.
Exactly. He's saying excellence isn't about your job title. It's about how you do your job.
That's a message that I think we really need today, with everyone obsessed with status and titles.
For sure. And he uses these beautiful nature metaphors to explain it. He says, if you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley.
But be the best little shrub on the side of the rill.
If you can't be a highway, just be a trail.
Yeah.
If you can't be the sun, be a star.
It isn't by size that you win or you fail.
Be the best at whatever you are. That's the takeaway. It takes all the anxiety away. You don't have to be famous. You just have to be excellent.
Okay, so let's recap our blueprint.
Yeah.
Step 1, dignity. Step 2, excellence. What's step 3? This one feels like the hardest.
Step 3 is where the blueprint gets bigger than just you. It's about a commitment to what he calls eternal principles. Beauty, love, and justice. This is the moral dimension of the plan.
So you can't just live for yourself.
No, you have a responsibility to your community, to your nation. And he gives them a very, very difficult instruction.
About how to treat other people.
Yes. He says, don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them.
Pull you so low. That's interesting phrasing. We usually think of hate as being powerful.
But King reframes it. He says hate is a weakness. It's sinking. It's letting the other person control you and drag you down to their level.
He's teaching them emotional discipline.
He is. And he uses this really clever rhyme to make his point about society. We have to remember the context.
Right. There were riots happening in American cities.
A lot of anger. And common chant you'd hear from rioters was, burn, baby, burn.
Representing destruction.
King takes that and he twists it. He tells the students, our slogan must not be burn, baby, burn.
It must be learn, baby, learn.
And if you learn,
then you can earn, baby, earn.
It's so smart. He's redirecting all that energy into something constructive. Be a builder, not a destroyer.
And he gives them proof that this path actually works. He lists what he calls noble examples.
Right. People who started with nothing. He mentions Booker T. Washington, born into slavery, who founded a university, Marian Anderson, another singer.
And Jackie Robinson in baseball.
Exactly. Real people who prove the blueprint works.
So we have the whole plan. The foundation in step 1, the structure in step 2, and the moral principles in step 3. But a plan is just paper.
And that's his conclusion. The call to motion. He doesn't pretend this will be easy.
No, he quotes a poem by Langston Hughes.
Mother to son. And the mother says, life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
A crystal stair, something smooth, perfect, easy.
Right, but her stairs had tacks in them. Splinters. Torn up boards.
It's a metaphor for a hard life.
Very hard life. But she kept on climbing. And that's King's final command to the students. It's one of the most rhythmic, powerful sequences I know.
Let's recite it. The rhythm is so important.
He says, if you can't fly, run.
If you can't run, walk.
If you can't walk, crawl.
But by all means, keep moving.
Gives me chills. It's the ultimate statement of resilience. It doesn't matter how fast you go.
It's just that you're moving forward.
It's forward momentum. That's all that matters.
It really ties the whole blueprint together perfectly. Dignity, excellence, justice, and then relentless forward motion.
And just think about the respect he showed those kids. He didn't talk down to them at all. He challenged them. He treated them like architects.
It's been more than 50 years, but I think for anyone listening, that blueprint is still solid.
Absolutely. The world changes, but the need for dignity, excellence, and perseverance, that's timeless.
It really is. So before we sign off, we want to leave you with something to think about. Dr. King asked those students to look at their blueprint.
And we're asking you the same thing. You are the architect of your own life, and English is one of your most important tools.
So, what does your blueprint look like today? Is that foundation of somebody-ness solid? Are you ready to burn the midnight oil to build something great?
Take a moment, check your plans, make sure you're building something you can truly be proud of.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Keep moving.
See you next time.